Okay, let's start. Today we are going to talk about low-level design documents, and tomorrow we will have a guest. I forgot to mention that in the group, but the guest will be talking about Balsamiq, which is a tool to create UI, basically. So it creates some mockups so that the developer can easily understand what kind of screen the game designer wants. And today, like I said, we will be talking about the importance of low-level design documents and also how do we write one. And your second assignment is about low-level design documents. I actually want to talk about that one first, and we'll jump right into the topic. So your second assignment will be choosing a feature from your game design idea. This game design idea will be the game that you created in your first assignment. If you have not done the first homework, then you can choose any feature you want from, from your, it could be your idea or it could be another imaginary feature. I know you guys did your first assignment, but I'm speaking for general audience here. And basically, you will choose a feature that can be developed by a single developer within 2 weeks, and you will communicate the details of this feature to the developer via a low-level design documents, and we will see some examples of that. But first of all, let's talk about the importance of game low-level design documents. So, are you following the recent news about Cyberpunk game?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I know you were following that. So, have you tried it yet?
I did for like 40 hours.
Okay. Oh, so you almost finished the main quest, main storyline.
No. I just got bored of it and did the side quests first.
Okay. Okay, logical. Why did you bored? Why did you get bored?
It was not what I was expecting. I mean, the
What?
story basically got rewritten after Keanu Reeves made a contract.
Okay, so after that point, you were disappointed, or even before that?
I'm just waiting for the game to fix itself in the future.
Logical. I haven't actually started playing. If I wasn't a game developer, I would probably give it back. The only reason I'm holding it is because I kind of feel like it's a duty to play this game. You know, there's a huge hype around it. But I mean, if I wasn't a game developer, I would probably play Witcher or something like that if I have this much time to play a game like this. But the main reason I brought up this topic is because this Cyberpunk game was developed in 7 years. Okay, so
9.
9. I hear 7 every time, but maybe the pre-planning stage is 2 years. I don't know. Are you sure it's 9?
The official idea was developed 9 years ago.
Okay. But the development phase is probably 7 years. So I mean, the software development phase probably.
They probably started it after being finished with Witcher 3, which is 2016.
2016, and okay, yeah. So let's just assume that it's 7 years for sake of arguments. So do you know the average years a software developer works at the same company? It's
2.
changed according to company, of course, but generally it's 2 to 3 years, and after that, software developers look for better opportunities, or they get bored, or they got fed up because of bad managements, bad behavior, bad company culture, etc. And they move to another job, which they can learn new things, which they can raise their pocket money, raise their allowance, etc. Not allowance, but what was Marsh? I forgot. Yeah, raise the payments. And this creates a problem for huge projects. The problem is, um,
The trust.
yeah, I mean, not the trust exactly, but imagine that you are trying to make a building out of nowhere. Okay, so someone is building cement, and some other person is trying to build the roof at the same time, and some other person is building the base of the project. Okay, and suddenly the person who is building the base decided to quit his job. Okay, suddenly you need to either move existing developers to uh, other task, or you need to find a complete new guy from other companies. You need to hire that guy, and you need to somehow make this guy be get to the same page with the team, and continue building the base without hurting the development process. This is something really hard, because uh, first months of joining to a new company is always troublesome. Uh, you need to learn fast, and you need to learn a lot of things, a lot of company backgrounds and technical backgrounds, etc. I believe Cyberpunk's biggest mistake was um, not managing this uh, problem. A
I
way
mean,
to
as I'm sorry, I'm cutting your
Yeah, yeah,
speech, but
go ahead.
as far as I know, the Cyberpunk was going to deliver the promised features, but it all changed when the contract was made by Keanu Reeves.
Uh,
Because, they announced a proper game, like they said the game is fully playable from start to end in 2017.
mhm.
And Keanu Reeves said that they just newly made a contract in 2018.
Oh,
So
okay.
they had to rewrite the entire game from start.
Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, this is some other problem, but generally, I mean, basically, the development process was taking uh, several years, such as, I don't know, 6, 7, something like that, and average uh, time a developer works at a certain company is, like I said, around 2 to 3 years. And in companies where there is a lot of stress, people tend to quit earlier. So for companies like Blizzard or Google cannot keep talents working for them easily. Uh, even they offer high salary, or nice benefits, nice side benefits. They find it very hard to keep the developers at their company. And the generally game companies are in the same situation. There's a high stress sector out there, and people are basically forcing developers to create something quickly, and most of the time, like developers get bored and go find a job somewhere else or start their own company, since it's not too hard to be an indie developer after you have some experience. But there, I mean, there are different ways to mitigate this problem. First of all, of course, is keeping your developers with you. Second way is keeping your projects small so that they will be over before your developers quit your company. Or the most solid one, I mean, there's no way to go wrong with that, is to create low-level design documents. Because there's a saying in Turkish, söz uçar yazı kalır, which can be translated as whatever is written will remain, but whatever which is said will go away. So you need to document, preferably all the things, but I mean, practically all the important points of your development process. There are other reasons why a low-level design document is important. By the way, I'm using the term low-level design document, but if you search online this phrase low-level design document, there won't be a lot of things that show up. Instead, you may search software design documents or something like that, because in corporate companies, in big companies which does software development, the general term is software analysis document or software design document. And in banks, for instance, this is a must. In military applications, military projects, this is a must. And this is a good practice in game companies as well. So there are different benefits of creating a low-level design document, or as a broad term, we can use software analysis documents, software design documents. Like I said, first of all is maintaining company background even when people quit your company. By the way, designers can also quit your company, and you don't want to lose all the precious decisions that came out of long meetings. You don't need to go back and redesign all those stuff. So like I said, first benefits is maintaining your backgrounds, your history, even when people quit. Second, benefits of having analysis documents or design documents is effective communication between the designer and developer. And I mean, there are some other benefits too, but let's talk about them when they pop out of my mind. So I would like to share my screen now and show you a couple of links. Okay, so this is an article called "Why Writing Software Design Documents Matters." Let's see if I missed something. Okay, this talks about the importance of communication. If you have a big task that you want some developer to develop, As a designer, you need to basically give some details about what you want, so that after some weeks, your expectations will be met, and no work has to be thrown away, or no work has to be redone. So this is another importance. But generally, unfortunately, this part is skipped in small companies, or some medium companies as well. Medium-sized companies skip this step, and what happens is rewriting the code. Unhappy clients, unhappy product managers, and stuff like that. So as a developer, ask for design documents. As a game designer, ask for time to write design documents. This is the basic tip that I want to share. So if the client hasn't written one, you should write it and submit it to them for review before you open your development environment. I mean, as a developer, you won't find too much time to do that. But if you are working as indie, you may ask from your client to write one, or you may, if you have a client with a messed up mind, you may offer some example design documents. And great tip is, if you encounter a client who says we don't have time for design documents, you should walk away from the project, because this difference in expectations creates environments with a lot of debates, a lot of discussions. So it's better to solve this issue once and for all. Without this document, you'll end up in a loop of, what is that? Yeah. You will end up in a loop of fighting culture, etc. So and this is something I experienced before. So after people got angry, they will send previous chat messages, previous mails, etc., to win the arguments, but this is just wasting everyone's time. So the reference page that a developer should look at should be the design document. Also, by the way, I experienced some other thing. There was a task that I should develop, and I thought that it would take at least 2 weeks. But realistically, it should take 1 month or something like that. And people in my company just thought this is a big estimate. I'm exaggerating something, and they said that writing a web page in our company takes approximately 3 to 5 days, so it's about 1 week, and you are asking for 4 weeks or 2 weeks at least. So what's up with that? So what's the deal with that? I was able to reference. I was able to ask if they have written the document, and we basically went over the documents, and I was able to show them the important tasks, and I was able to show people the points that will waste some time for me. And we were able to communicate better as a team by referencing this document. Okay. So what should the software design documents or specification actually specify? And by the way, do you have any questions up to this point? I forgot to mention that the role in a company who writes design documentations or analysis specifications is generally called business analyst. If it's a game company, game designers can write stuff like that. So what should the software design specification actually specify? At the very least, it should be a description of the desired application, criteria for completion, and milestones. If people have different goals, I mean, they won't be able to work as a team because they will, promises will be made to the clients, promises will be made to the owner of the company by the product manager. And if the product, if what product manager is saying is not being created by the developer, then, like I said, there will be disappointments. And also, if there's a specified feature or development, then you can talk about milestones. And teams want to create high quality projects, high quality features, but if you don't have a criteria for high quality, or if you don't have a expectation document or something like that, it will be too hard to check if you have a high quality project. Actually, there are other documents that help solve this problem other than the software design documents. For instance, business analysts use a page with checkboxes next to every line. And when a new feature is developed, they basically test this feature and check if this feature satisfies the first requirements, and unchecks the line if the requirement is not met. So features don't get released until the tester or game designer is okay with the new feature. But today's topic is not this test checklist, it's something else. Today's topic is software design specification. Okay. Remember, you are sharing what is best described as a requirements and function documents, not an implementation specification. And unless a specific implementation is a stated client objective, how you make it work is up to you. So the goal is not to limit the developer. So you generally want to avoid saying stuff like you need to implement this code by using a specific third-party library. If you have a multiplayer game, for instance, and if you are the game designer, you don't want to say use Photon Network to make this game multiplayer. It should be up to developers. Okay. Of course, if there's a specific situation, for instance, if your game has experience, sorry, if your company has previously written code, previously written tools that you can use in your game, it may be useful to specify those in your design documents. But generally, a designer shouldn't try to limit which technologies the developer will use, or I mean, design documents should not interfere with the development's choices, but there are always exceptions. So let's talk about user interface a bit. Most projects are applications, but if you happen to have one of these as a deliverable, count yourself lucky, because the user interface is far and away the most problematic component of your design document template, and almost always leads to misunderstandings. Many clients will send you perfect illustrations created in graphic editor by a graphic designer who is not a programmer. But the problem is, these illustrations say nothing about animations, control states, or even what actions to perform or when a button is pressed. This is partly true to some extent, but if your team is having meetings regularly, then this problem will basically fade away. We lived a similar case in our project, actually. Our designer wanted to have a detailed background image, and um, they created a nice looking UI in Photoshop, and they said that they wanted this, and we implemented this nice looking background image to our project. But after some development, we saw that this background image is taking up too much space, and we basically got rid of, I mean, we decided to create a simpler art, which is repetitive, and we will paint the background with this repetitive image, by using this image multiple times. So we were able to communicate this before the actual release, even even as early as the prototype step. So these problems may arise, but um, good communication solve this issue, kind of. And I still believe that design, sorry, user interface, I mean, communicating user interface has some easy ways, such as showing different screens. And in Balsamic, as far as I know, there are ways to show developer some functional things as well. So in Balsamic, for instance, if you have two screens, and if you click a button, the next screen will appear. You can add a function in your Balsamic project, so that when this mockup image is being clicked, the next screen will be shown, and stuff like that. Okay. I will be here in a minute. Sorry. Okay. Hello again. Sorry about that. I need to check the door. Okay. So, like I said, many clients will send you perfect illustrations created in a graphic editor by a graphic designer who is not a programmer. But these illustrations say nothing about animations, control states, or even what actions to perform when a button is pressed. Like I said, this problem can be solved by using Balsamiq, as far as I know. So before you start writing the code behind these illustrations, you should be able to answer those questions. These are nice tips, by the way. I will be sending you this link as well. So are controls always visible or enabled? Under what conditions do their states change? This looks like a bitmap, but is it a button? So you need to clarify a lot of things. And what transitions occur between these states and views, and how should they be animated? I'm going to give an example from a popular website. So a combo box is a pretty basic thing in web development, or in, I don't know, mobile app development, or in game design. A combo box is, pretty basic thing, and it should be implemented pretty quickly. But I'm going to show you an exception, basically. So if you go to sahibinland.com, if after you choose your city, you can choose, I don't know, let's choose Üsküdar. So this is a combo box, by the way. So as you see, there are different districts under the Üsküdar section. And if you choose I don't know, if you choose central, then all the combo boxes under the central section gets checked, okay? And if you deselect one of them, this main combo box got deselected. And if you uncheck those, or now if we check this, they all got reselected. And this takes time, okay? This takes 4 to 5 functions which should be written in your code. And these 4 to 5 functions need to be written in half a day, or maybe even a full day. And if you are writing the backend of this project, sorry, if you are writing the client side of this project, for instance, you need to be able to indent the subsections like this, so that they will be appearing in the writer side. And these kinds of things take time, okay? But clients will be furious if you are not adding a simple combo box. So you need to foresee those types of things, and you need to make those requirements clear. So screen dimensions are another important case. For instance, in mobile, we chose our game will be in 19 to 60 19:10 ratio, if I recall correctly. And this created some problems when you are using your game in a longer device such as iPhone X. So our product manager was using iPhone X, and he saw something unexpected by us. If it's up to you to generate the UI for client's concurrence, do the same in reverse. Use a wireframe tool and create a complete set of screen layouts, including any variants that the views show in different application states. Okay, this is a subjective tip. This basically suggests that you create the interface. You create the mockup. Sometimes this could be useful as well. I mean, sometimes even drawing something to the paper can help as well. If your client supplies you with graphics, make sure that they are correctly sized with the proper aspect ratios. Morphing any bitmap that has text or objects will introduce distortions. Okay, this is something we also experienced. My, the artist in my team created some drawings, but the drawings were not in the ratio. I mean, they weren't balanced. How can I say? So the ratio of those different images should have been the same, but they were not. And because of that, I had to guerrilla fix some stuff. So I need to mess up the code a little bit until they recreates the artwork. But if we had a protocol before writing the code or before he is creating the art, then this problem wouldn't happen. And after that, we decided that this was a necessification. This was necessary. So we basically set a meeting for next week, and we will be talking with other people in our company, and we will try to follow what other teams in our company are doing. So we will decide which pixel per unit size we will use. We will decide which screen ratio we will use for mobile games, and we will talk about atlases, which are asset atlases. In games for higher performance, assets are art assets are put in the same page, and it gets rendered dynamically during the gameplay, and we will decide on those points. Okay, another important thing is being in the same page in functionality departments. Before going that, do you have any questions about the user interface? Okay, you're able to hear me, right? No problems. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Great. So, speaking of functionality, there are a few key questions to ask. What does the application do, and how quickly does it do it? So what are the performance requirements? This part is about performance. What are possible failure conditions and how are they handled? Sometimes it's okay for your app to fail. If you can specify those conditions beforehand, you won't be able to cover up those failures in your code. You will instead show a pop-up message indicating the error. So user will be user should fix the input, for instance. I remember a case when a developer in my previous company was trying to accept all user inputs in our web page. Okay, and I said, why are you accepting those? Why? I mean, for instance, if there is a for instance, in a mailbox, not a mailbox, but there in a login page, for instance, if you are asking for user mail, this mail should include an @ sign, right? If there's no @ sign in the mail, you don't even send this text to backend. You need to immediately warn the user that this is not an accepted text, and you need to stop the user from progressing when the input is not correct, until so they can continue progressing if their input is right, but if not, don't even bother. So those are some examples of failure conditions. It's better if you specify them early. What one-time operations are done at the first execution after installation? So, for instance, in my embedded application, it wasn't a game. It was pulling patient information from a patient, and it was sending this information to our database. Okay, and there were a file which I read the specifications. So this file is a customization file, and I was reading this at the start of the execution, but I needed to reread this document and pull new preference file from it. So if the user decides to change, for instance, the speed that my computer program runs, then I need to, the user basically changes this text document, and after some time, when my program is working, after some time, let's say 5 minutes, my program reads this text document, and if the speed variable has changed, my program adapts to this new requirement, new preference. And to do that, I basically need to open this text document once every 5 minutes. So this is another task that I should do, which should be taken into account when you're planning. If the user creates entries of any kind, what are the limitations? We talked about this in mailbox example. Generalize these ideas and be as detailed as you can, because errors or misunderstandings here will mean rewriting code. Okay. Another example is in my game, actually. So I actually want to kind of show you. So in our game, the way we let our player to create their deck is not yet decided. Okay. So I just came up with my idea, and I basically implemented this idea. But I'm not sure if I will have to rewrite my code or not. So for instance, game looks like this. And if I play the game, this page is written by me. And it gets filled with some cards, if I hit reset, the deck will be empty. And if I drag cards here, like this, my deck will be updated. And my backpack will be squeezed so that, there won't be any gaps. But I'm not sure if the final product will be like this. Maybe people will need gaps, Right now, I'm not leaving any gaps. And since there's no specification, I'm not sure if I will rewrite the code or not. By the way, to show you our game, if you hit battle, nothing happens. But if you choose single player game and jump into the battle scene, you can drag some dices to your cards, and you basically fight with your dummy opponent. So your dummy opponent has his own cards, and if they end the turn, then you get to play your cards again. Okay, this is what we have currently. So anyways, let's get back to serious stuff. Okay. Let's talk about milestones. So your specification templates should lay out clear milestones. This is optional, by the way. You can, as a designer, it won't be hard. It won't be easy for you to specify clear milestones because you don't know about code generally as a designer. If your client writes the functional and UI design, you should subsequently agree on a set of milestones. Sometimes these are billing thresholds as well, but at the very least, they provide a clear metric toward completion. So we talked about this in our project billing phase. These are best to be done together with your team. Software design specification example. Okay, now we have a abstract example here, and this can be used as a template for your homework, but of course there are other examples. This is not, exactly what I expect necessarily. You can, check other sources as well. This is something that I just Googled and showed up. So you need to specify your goals, okay? Include a short paragraph describing the project and its intended audience. Maybe you don't have to include your project details, but maybe you need to talk briefly about your feature, There's a sample specification here. Maybe we can check this as well. And there's another link which we can check as well, but split screen Google form. Okay. Okay. This looks useful. After you state your goals, you need to describe needed functions. What does the application do? What does your game do? What application states will the user encounter. So for instance, in our game, there are actually three different states, right? The deck building page, where user chooses the preferred cards and assembles a deck. And second state is the battle state, where the player has the turn. And third state is the state where opponent has the turn and we are unable to do anything. So, for instance, your functional description might look like first run, creating a new game, maybe matchmaking. So first run is deck building, in our case. Creating a new match is matchmaking in our game. Operations are the cards we play, the dice we drag, etc. And background and foreground behavior can include some animations, health bars, mana bars, and stuff like that. Maybe if, for instance, if you have a game like Witcher, weather should change from time to time, and you could include those in your design as well. Let's talk an example of user interface. Include wireframes for each page with detailed descriptions of. By the way, wireframe is basically a simple drawing. Wireframes, right? It's a used term in modeling, but
it's like blueprints, yes.
Let me draw a wireframe. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by blueprints, because when you say blueprints, I immediately think of Unreal Engine blueprints, but probably you are thinking something else, right? So if I draw something, so for instance, this could be this could be your screen, and let's say that you are creating a combat game. Then your name will be here, and other player's name will be here, and your health bar will be here, but a little smaller, and opponent's health bar will be here. And if you have a timer, for instance, maybe your timer, if you have a timer, for instance, your timer can be here. And I'm basically drawing a wireframe. You will do something like that in our next lecture tomorrow, but you will be using a more professional program called Balsamiq. So let's go back to our topic. Okay, when you are talking about user interface, like I said, it's better to include wireframes for each page with detailed descriptions of each control, including different states. Like I said, enabled, disabled, highlighted, and operations. Supported orientations and transitions between them. So if the user clicks, quits the game, or if your user clicks restart level, what will happen? You need to specify those types of things. You need to try to represent your functional requirements, and you may need to talk about error handling. For instance, if you are going to show up a error pop-up, then you need to specify what type of pop-up are you going to show to the user. and you need to talk about dimensions and constraints, especially if you have a mobile app. Which are the which devices will be supported, which for instance, having the basic layout such as this will not be enough, because is this how your app should look in iOS X, iPhone X, or is this what you want in Android devices? I don't know this, and this should be specified, because the device screens has different sizes. You need to specify which UI elements will be anchored to where. If health bars will be shown at the top in every device, maybe you can specify that, for instance. Okay, yeah. If you are interested, I made these mockups using BuzzMX wireframing tool. Let's check what this guy did. Okay, we cannot check. Let me click again. Okay, this is an affiliate link or something like that, I guess, because yeah, there's lots. Oops. Just go back. Okay, I guess these are the things he made with BuzzMX. For example, your UI description might look like navigation bar, left navigation control, return to home page, title bar, current screen or operation name, new button, create a new something. For instance, if your button is a shoot button, when this button is clicked, you will be creating bullets. Or if this is a a button, as in here, when you click a button, these values will be updated and stuff like that. So you need to specify those kind of things. And table view. So those titles are common in development, by the way. For instance, in software UI, we use vertical layout, horizontal layout, table view, scroll view. Scroll view is used in mobile development, where you can basically scroll what is inside. So as a designer, you can talk about those UI terms to easily communicate with the developer. So we have a table, apparently. In our first, zeroed section, there we will have a title, and in other rows, we have a row with image, and we have a line with text. We have another line with text. So yeah. Okay. This is talked about before, alpha states, release state, etc. But these doesn't have to be in your low-level design documents. And another important thing is making sure your software documentation remains relevant, not ancient. After this design document is created by the designer generally mails this document to the developer and to, but sorry, after this design document is created, designer sends this document to product manager generally, or the client, So client or product manager either approves or requires some changes. And if they approve, then designer sends these documents to the developer and they go over the document together. And then the developer starts working on the design, starts working on the code, I mean. And after that, unfortunately, generally no one looks back at the design documents. So changes and new requirements can arise. And you need to keep your documents alive as well. But if possible, you don't want to overwrite your previous design documents. So, I mean, your design document should make your design document history visible. So you don't delete this and write something here. You instead cross this out, so you draw on top of it, and then you write your new sentence. Let me give you an example from our design documents. So if I go to notion.so, this is not what I... Let me just check this. Okay, so this is our design document, and this is our pitch page. I'm trying to find an example, but yeah, for instance, here, this line is crossed out. This is not deleted. It's possible to delete here, but it's better to cross out. And now this talks about the changes in our design. Okay. This is important because people won't argue to go back to this point again, because now it's clear that this was tried out and this idea is being discussed and crossed out now. So this is important as well. Oops. So if I go back to, and by the way, if you use hack and plan, you know, you can do a similar thing there as well. In most planning apps, you can cross out all documents. If you are using something basic such as Word, or I mean, if you are using something basic like Word, for instance, at least you can save different versions of your documents in a folder, you know, where and preferably it should be a cloud folder, such as Google Drive, so that developer can download the newest version of your design documents, and you will be kept in contact with your designer. Okay. What was the developer just working on? Okay, above all, keep in touch. Yeah, at least several times a week. Contact your clients, reports on your progress, ask for clarification, and make certain that you share identical visions. As a litmus test for your communication, try and ensure that you and your clients give the same answers to these three questions. What was the developer just working on? What the developer currently working on? And what will the developer work on next? These are Scrum questions, by the way. If you remember, we talked about 3 questions, which are what I have done, what I will be doing, and what are my roadblocks. So what is stopping me from achieving my goal? If I need to contact to some team member, for instance, if I need to ask something, or if I'm needing some clarifications, I specify that here. So these 3 questions plus the fourth one, roadblocks. What are your roadblocks? Should be discussed in each Scrum meeting. Okay. Design will evolve, like I said, and the changes should be captured in your documents. Even when the design changed, I created a design document with detailed specifications and adjusted it as necessary. And there will always be details that neither of you had considered. And you will encounter new ideas and will be looking to change your first drafts of your design. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. We will give a break of, I don't know, 10 minutes, and we will jump right back, okay, if there are no questions. Okay, then. See you in 10 minutes.
See you.
See you.